Hey guys, we've got another real estate Q&A today. Just wanted to pop in. We've got three things that we wanted to touch on and answer today. The first of which is the order of operations to buy a home. So a lot of people ask, where do you start when you're getting ready to buy your first house, right? First conversation that you really need to have is with a lender. So you really have to go deep with your finances, your credit, your income, your debts, all of that stuff, so you can come out with what your maximum number is. And then from there, you want to figure out what your actual budget is per month. So those generally are two very different numbers. And so those are really the two things that you need to dive into and get those answered first before you talk to a realtor. So the second part is going and sitting down with a realtor for a buyer's consult. What you're going to talk to the realtor about is, this is basically where you get into like needs and wants. So you're going to sit down, talk about what you're looking for, what you don't want in your next house. And then hopefully if your agent is good, you're going to sit down and put together a strategy on how to go and get that house for you. So then the third part to that is actually where you start looking at homes. So a lot of people get way ahead of themselves and start looking at homes first without doing the homework, and then end up setting themselves up for failure. So they either are looking at homes way out of their budget that they can't afford, or they haven't done the work to know what else goes into buying a home with their real estate agent to really be able to tell, is this going to work for me, and is this something that I want? So those are the three things to start with. I don't know why this is so blurry. Sorry, guys. Today, the second one that we were going to talk to is a lot of people kind of, depending on where you're at in your life, right? If you're trying to do some family planning and estate planning, you want to protect your assets, which are basically your house. And so we have one right now where our client did not do this and had to go through probate, and it's a very long process. And it's kind of ridiculous to the level that you have to go to be able to designate somebody who can then take care of those assets for you. So if you actually put your house into a family trust, that's already done. And then it's a lot more seamless to be able to sell property and assets and then gift it to family members. And it's all pre-designated. It goes exactly the way that you've already outlined. And you don't have to deal with probate and whatever the courts decide. So it's kind of a 30,000 foot overview of how that process goes. But that's one to look into if you're worried about how you're going to leave your assets to family members and making it a little bit less painful for them to be able to handle it. The third one that we've had a bunch of questions on is when you're buying new construction. So there's a lot of new homes that are out there in the market right now. A lot of them are offering some really good things, but there's some things that you need to be aware of. The builder's rep, or like the person that's sitting in the model home, they're not working for you. So they will provide information and answer questions, things like that, but they're really not going to be your representative. So if you want some help buying a house, you have to come with your own agent. So those are still included. They will work with agents. I don't care what they tell you. They will work with agents, and it's definitely in your best interest to have somebody on your side reviewing those contracts and advocating for you, because that builder's rep is not that person. You can also get inspections done at different stages. So depending on when you go under contract on that new build, you can have inspectors come and walk that at framing. You can have inspectors come and walk it at drywall. You can have them do it at the final right before you get your keys and you're doing your tape run. So there's a few different moving pieces there, but you do want to do that and make sure that there's somebody else's eyes are on that property that know what they're looking at, can fly over the roof, make sure it's been done, some of that stuff. And it just makes you feel a lot better that the work has been done the way that it should have. And I know they do have to go through permitting and inspections like that from the city, but this is just a slightly different level. So do that. And then any deposit that you give to the builder is actually going to the builder's operating account. And they, depending on the contract, right? There's always caveats depending on the contract. But really, if you cancel that contract, you're not getting that money back. So most of those deposits are non-refundable, especially when you go in and start picking out flooring and tile and things like that. They always ask for a bigger deposit. Once that stuff's ordered, you're toast. You can't get that stuff back for the most part. If there's any other questions that you guys have, let me know. Happy to answer them. And then, of course, this week, if you have anything that pops up, shoot me an email, send me a text, whatever. Happy to be your resource. Thanks, guys.